You know, we wanted to plan the perfect trip to Bali, but not just, an itinerary. We wanted to create something that felt different, something that felt less like a vacation and more like a movie you'd want to rewatch over and over again.
Look, it seems like everyone goes to Bali these days, right? Or at least they dream about it. But there's a huge difference between just seeing the island and really truly feeling it. So that was the mission. Find the real magic, away from the usual tourist traps.
And it all started with that one feeling. I'm sure you know it. Aman was just done, burnt out, and Rohit, well, he had the perfect answer. Not just a vacation, but a real escape.
So the escape plan picked off in Ubud. Why? Because the whole point was to leave the noise and chaos behind. We needed to land somewhere we could just breathe, That calm green energy was the only way to start this whole thing.
And honestly, the second we laid eyes on the Tigalang rice terraces, we knew we'd made the right choice. Standing there, just looking out at these endless, vibrant green layers, it doesn't even feel real. It's the kind of quiet beauty that just silences all the chatter in your head.
Okay, so you've seen those Bali swings all over Instagram, right? Well, here's our first little secret for you. You could go to Alas Harum, pay a premium, and yeah, the view is incredible. Or you could head over to Aloha Swin, get pretty much the exact same epic photo, feel that same sense of flying, and keep some cash in your pocket. For us, it was a no-brainer.
After all that peace and quiet on day 1, day 2 was pure adrenaline. We hit Kanto Lampa waterfall, which feels like something out of a fantasy movie with its cascading rock steps. Then, we found Tukat Chapang. It's this insane waterfall hidden inside a cave with these beams of sunlight just cutting through the dark. Eamon just looked at me like, are we dreaming? We wrapped it all up getting covered in mud, racing ATVs through jungle tunnels. So much fun.
So the first 2 days were absolutely incredible. But what happened next? This is where the trip became something else entirely. These were the moments that, they kind of change you a little. This is where it got really special.
And it all started with the most brutal alarm clock ever. I'm talking 2 a.m. Yep, we were about to hike up an active volcano in pitch black darkness. Let me tell you, the effort is no joke. You're definitely walking up that path thinking, am I completely nuts for doing this?
This was Amen, literally halfway up the mountain in the cold, questioning every life choice that led him there. I mean, can any sunrise really be worth all this? The doubt was real.
But then you finally make it to the top, and you see it. You're standing above this thick blanket of clouds, and the sky just explodes with this golden light, and it's completely silent. In that moment, every single doubt just melts away. That feeling, man, you carry that with you.
All right, from one emotional high to another. Next up, we had to see one of Bali's most famous spots, the Lempiong Temple, also known as the Gate of Heaven. You know the one. Standing between those gates with the volcano framed perfectly behind you, it's a shot you dream of getting.
But here comes the reality check. That perfect, serene photo you see online, yeah, get ready to wait for it. And I mean wait, we're talking hours, in a line. It's a huge reminder that Instagram isn't always the full picture,
So Rohit, being the smart planner, had a backup. An insider tip: if you want that same jaw-dropping view with way more magic and way less people, you head to a place called Lehangon Suite for the sunset. And trust me, that hidden spot felt so much more real and powerful than any crowded tourist photo op ever could.
And then we went to the island that just leaves you speechless. Nusa Penida isn't just pretty, it's raw, it's powerful, it feels ancient. This is the place you go to really feel the incredible scale of nature and realize, wow, I'm just a tiny part of this.
Standing there on the cliff at Kailan King Beach, looking down at that famous T-Rex-shaped coastline with the ocean just crashing below, a man turned to me and just said, "There's no way a camera can capture this." And he was right. You just have to be there. It's a place that makes you feel so incredibly small, but somehow more alive than ever before. As the trip started to wind down, the whole vibe shifted. The adrenaline started to fade and was replaced by this feeling of peaceful reflection. These last couple of days were all about soaking in the culture and chasing those legendary Bali sunsets.
At Uluwatu Temple, perched right on a cliff's edge, we watched the Kecak fire dance as the sun went down. The wildest part? There's no music, no instruments. The entire rhythm comes from a choir of human voices chanting. It creates this primal, electric energy that's just unforgettable.
Our last big stop was the Handera Gate. And here's the final pro tip for you. If you just want to see it and appreciate it, you can literally just walk right up. But if you're there for that one perfect Instagram shot in the middle of the road, yeah, you're going to have to get in line. It's all about knowing what you're there for.
We saved our final sunset for Tanah Lot, the temple that sits out in the sea. And as the sun dipped behind it, turning the water into liquid gold, it felt like the whole world just hit pause. Aman said it perfectly. This feels divine. It was just a perfect, quiet, beautiful end to the adventure.
You know, after all the adventures, the super early mornings, the incredible views, and those quiet, peaceful moments, something started to click. We realized this whole thing was so much more than just a trip.
Ammon was kind of trying to process it all out loud. He said, so, Bali isn't just about the beaches and the cool spots, is it? It was the adventure, the peace, the culture, all those moments that just took our breath away. And Rohit just smiled, and he nailed it with 3 simple words. It's a feeling. That's it. That's the secret.
And that's really what it all comes down to. When you look back, you don't just remember the names of the temples or the beaches. You remember the goosebumps you got on that cliff, the incredible peace you felt watching that sunrise, the pure joy of getting muddy on an ATV. You don't remember Bali by its places, you remember it by how it made you feel.